Hi guys, my name is Nick. My crime scene scenario was a murder in the first degree. It was discovered that my body was in the shower of my house, and the police, along with a coworker, discovered the body after not showing up for 2 days of work. So the police discovered my body in the shower. I have stab wounds. I have a gunshot wound to the face. I am delivered to the coroner, and it is presumed that I am a homicide case. So forensics is called. They come to the house. There's no sign of forced entry. There's no sign of robbery, burglary. Nothing is ran through. So this obviously is a crime where the victim knew who did it, who was comfortable enough to be in the shower when the crime happened with whoever was in his house. I highly doubt that the door was just unlocked and the person just walked right in and did it. There had to be motive. So when we talk about motive, there was one prime suspect in this case. So that being his ex-girlfriend who broke up with him. So when we talk about the big idea in this class of duty, it is the duty of the police to serve and protect. Serving and protecting, in this case, I think, go hand in hand with the amount of detail that the police focused on. By interviewing people, the three interview subjects being the prime suspect, his ex-girlfriend, his boss, and his mother, they were able to find motive from his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, why she was angry about the breakup. They were also able to find, by doing their due diligence and their duty, their job prescription or description, they were able to find that her alibi was false, that her cell phone pinged her at the scene of the crime, that her camera, or there was a camera that caught her driving by and getting gas 1 block away from the victim's house. Though circumstantial, it is damning. There was a blood drop on the floor, and there was cut marks on her hand that leave police DNA match, and you have a cut mark on your hand, determining that your hand slipped down a knife and it was cut open, which caused the blood on the floor of the victim's house, which matched DNA to the prime suspect. So as far as duty is concerned, the big idea on that is police not cutting corners. They actually had a suspect who fit someone who knew the victim, like I told you in the beginning. They knew the victim, they had motive, they had plenty of reason, circumstantial evidence to believe the guilt of this individual, and they went after that, and they were able to obtain all their evidence to supply a guilty verdict and a conviction of first-degree murder for the perpetrator of this crime. And the essential question that was answered, roles and responsibilities as a criminal justice professional. So roles, we're talking about this crime. We're talking about a deputy that meets his boss outside of the victim's house and escorts the boss in for a wellness check just to see if this person is okay. They're not going in there thinking that's a murder. So you have a deputy police officer. Then once it's found that the victim is inside and deceased, you have medical professionals in criminal justice system, such as the medical examiner. Why am I not getting this right now? The coroner. Yeah, the coroner. They have the duty to, which is a big idea, investigate the body of the victim and make sure that they come up with the reasonable explanation of the death, which they were able to surmise that it was a homicide. And you have, not only that, you have detectives that get involved, and they have to track down leads, and they have to basically step by step take this crime and find the truth. And that's exactly what they did, and that's their duty. Another role that was involved in this was not just the detectives, but the interrogating detectives who were able to get all this information that led to the arrest of Stephanie Snyder. They're also a forensic team in criminal justice, which were able to figure out that there was DNA evidence that was able to convict the perpetrator. And lastly, there was the police officers that were present at court, the bailiff, the judge, the prosecuting attorney, the district attorney. There was the defense attorneys that handled this court process. There was the clerk. Many different duties and roles and responsibilities the criminal justice professionals went into this case. Now, a challenge and a solution for further down the road that I think needs to be implemented when you talk about this case. Yes, the prime suspect did talk to the police, and they did answer questions that led the police to finding out that it was her. I think a challenge that is prominent in criminal justice is that the Miranda rights are a good thing, but they also enable guilty people not to talk. And when they don't talk, they don't confess. When they don't confess, criminal justice professionals have to waste taxpayer dollars, man hours, time and money in order to investigate and properly find out what happened and who is culpable for the crime. So, with constitutional rights being talked about and thought about, it will be tough, but I do think a solution would be to kind of edit the Miranda rights and maybe have an exception if you're talking to someone who you may think committed the crime. Maybe they don't have the right to remain silent. Maybe they must talk to you, and that becomes a very difficult thing to implement. And I just think it would be something to go off of. I'm not saying it should be done, but it is a possible tool that might help criminal justice professionals solve crime faster and more cost efficiently. So, with that being said, start to finish, it was a crime of passion. This woman obviously couldn't see herself looking at her ex-boyfriend with another woman. She decided to take his life. It was premeditated because she knew that he would feel safe in the shower and that his guard would be down, so she stabbed him and shot him. And you can see it was premeditated because she tried to cover her tracks, and she knew that she would have to participate in this investigation and try to deflect the police away from her by being supportive and caring about the victim. So, with that being said, thank you for your time. I enjoyed this assignment, and I enjoyed the class. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.